Hello, everyone, and welcome to this video. Thank you for joining us. So in this video, we plan to dive in depth regarding the Relationship Breakthrough Couples Retreat. And that is a 7-day immersive residential experience that both Cheryl and I are going to be hosting, co-collaborating, co-facilitating together. And we just wanted to jump on here and really give you a thorough and deep overview about what you can expect when joining this 7-day intensive. It is specifically for couples, and the title of it is Relationship Breakthrough because that's exactly what you're going to get at the end of these 7 days, and we're going to explain exactly how we're going to do it. So stay tuned because we have a lot of information that we want to share with you that's going to give you a peek behind the scenes of this amazing transformative breakthrough experience. So, up first, Cheryl and I just really wanted to take the opportunity to introduce ourselves, tell you a little bit about our background, where we come from, what ultimately led us to co collaborate and co facilitate this amazing retreat experience for couples, and to kind of give you an opportunity to get to know us and the skill set, the experience, the wisdom that we bring to this retreat to help you and your partner make the breakthrough that you're seeking and looking for. So I'm going to start with Cheryl. Cheryl's going to jump in. She's going to share a little bit about herself and where she comes from and what led her to where we are today.
Hi, I'm Cheryl Bourget, and I am the person that's co-creating, facilitating the part of this breakthrough retreat with Tiffany in the art of conscious relating. And it's my intention and my passion to really support couples in their process of understanding better the potential of relationship as a portal for growth, for expansion, body, mind, and spirit. So my intention is to bring couples that are currently living in an old paradigm of relating. You've settled into some patterns and strategies that are not serving your coupleship at this point, and you're in a strategy of trying to get something from your partner, and you're always coming up feeling defeated, disappointed, questioning if you should even be with this person. And you are, not that you want to be here, but you really are in the space of always blaming the other person. But what's happening in your experience of being connected, grounded, and really living your life from this sense of secure experience, in charge of your own happiness, in your own groundedness, in your own pleasure, in your own passion, and in your own purpose, right? It's the space where you're repeating patterns that are not feeling good and you don't know how to get out of them. And through my own life experience, I've been doing transformation, leading transformation for the last 3 decades. I've been in my own relationship evolutions. I've put together a method, a framework to support people to really move out of a drama triangle, right? A victim conscious to the creator consciousness, to really move out of the attachment styles in their struggles into using those specific things to really expand and come into a deeper sense of secure attachment to self, to the divine, to God, and to move in relationship from an old paradigm of really trying to get something, get our good feelings, get our love, get our affirmation, get our validation, to being in service to one another. The truth is, our partners are perfect. It's an energetic exchange. And so you call to yourself in any relationship you've ever had, the exact person that is going to be the person that activates you into this discomfort and that literally invites you to grow. And this is how relationships become portals for our greatest possibilities, really aligning ourselves with our true potential. Our relationships are a direct portal for us to get in alignment and to free ourselves, right? To bring ourselves into liberation and come into service, not service to self, but service to the divine and service through to our breakthrough to liberation. The end result of that, of course, is juicy, passionate, right? Purpose and connection and pleasure. And that's the space we want to go, right? From frustration and fussiness and blame and shame into great opportunity of personal responsibility, passion, pleasure, purpose, liberation, communication, right? Finding ways to really align ourselves in the truth that conflict is evidence or an invitation for growth. And when we can really understand the consciousness of conflict and understand what it's inviting us into, and in the possibility of us building trust through conflict, and really coming into secure attachment with ourselves in truth and intimacy with somebody else, it's such a juicy pathway. So this is the path that I intend to take everyone on. This is the path that I have been walking on. This is the path that Tiffany and I have been creating on and in, right? As we've been growing, because this isn't just true for our most intimate, juicy relationships, but it's also true for partnerships and relationships with other women, with our children, with our siblings, and with the world at whole. But these tools, because in order to learn how to consciously relate, the difference between the old and the new paradigm is I'm going to teach you tools for self-reflection, tools for connection, tools for healing. They're all repeatable tools. So you'll be able to use them for the rest of your life, share them in your work, in your relationship, in your family, in your community, so that you can become much more conscious, not just in your most intimate and luscious relationship, but really as a whole. So it's a repeatable experience that you'll be able to dive deep into and then take out into your world. One of the things I'm going to benefit the retreat with is I'm going to take couples through a process of breaking through, teaching them how to have a critical moment, a conscious critical moment in their relationship, and coaching them through the process. So not only will they have education and have hands-on experience, but they're going to also receive a spotlight coaching with me that will really allow you to transform not just your relationship, but your nervous system, your mindset, and bring forward what's going on in your subconscious mind so that you can become more conscious in your opportunity to create. So thank you for this opportunity. I look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Amazing. So, yes, side note, Cheryl and I have been friends for about 15 years now. And I first stumbled on Cheryl when I was kind of at a low point in a relationship and was really struggling with that victim villain kind of consciousness and mindset. And she and the amazing methodology that she has, the approach that she has, the blueprint that she's created, which from my experience is very unique and very leading edge and very extraordinary. Like it's something I haven't actually ever come across in any other realm, in any other coach that I've either personally worked with or just have had experience with or have been exposed to their teachings, their work, and so on. So Cheryl is definitely well equipped, we can say, to completely transform your relationship into something just truly unique and fulfilling and long lasting, and yeah, just the epic love and legendary love that we all dream of. So, my name is Tiffany. Hello and welcome. I will be the other half of this relationship breakthrough couples retreat. And my background is actually from the tantric background. So, I am a tantra teacher. I teach tantra massage, tantra yoga, tantric meditation, tantric sexuality, and so on. So, all the various branches of tantra. I've been doing this for about a decade. I first came across the tantric path about 10 years ago. I was in a pivotal moment in my life where I was really kind of down on my knees and really praying to the divine. I didn't really have like a deep relationship with what I would call God at the time. But I did believe in kind of a higher spiritual power. And I found myself down on my knees praying for the first time ever, really, in my life, and just asking for guidance and support and direction on how to overcome these reoccurring challenges and patterns that I had in my life. Like I felt like I was a hamster on a hamster wheel and just going around and around and around. And sure, I would have different partners, I would have a different job, I would have different experiences, different friendships, different relationships come and go throughout my life. But like the underlying pattern was continuously um, like veering its ugly head. And I had to face it again and again. And it was just making me obviously crazy. So yeah, so I asked the higher power, hey, please, like, show me the truth, like, truth with a capital T. Show me how to overcome this cyclical pattern that I'm stuck in and that I can't seem to overcome and I can't seem to get beyond or surpass. And after a couple of days of really praying intensely, I was led to a course called the Tantra Massage Therapist Training through my guru and my school. And I attended that course in Argentina, mind you. It was 10 days away. It was the worst time ever, the worst time ever to be attending this training. I had like a full book of clients. I was running my own business. Like it was not exactly convenient, shall we say. And yet I made the effort. I decided I was going to go no matter what. And then, of course, all the stars aligned and it was able to happen. I was able to make it happen. And it completely transformed and changed my life on every level. And it did introduce me to the truth of life, the purpose of why we're here as human beings, what our mission is as human beings, and so on. It answered like those deeper existential questions that I think every human being at some point in their life is plagued with or has. So it changed everything, needless to say. And I came back home shortly after that retreat and I closed my business. And it was a thriving business, something I had invested so much time and energy and finances into. And I just said, I cannot possibly go back to that life knowing what I know now. So I sold my business. Sorry, I closed my business and I embarked on the tantric path. I started to take every course I could possibly take through my lineage, through my school, and I became a teacher of tantra eventually in all the branches of Tantra, or most of the branches. So, yeah, I've been doing this work ever since. It really started with Tantra massage because that's where I started. Tantra massage is where I started in the Tantric path. And I started to teach Tantra massage workshops, retreats, couples courses. I started to do one on one sessions just because in that dynamic, you can just learn so much about energy and energy mastery, and you can really become very skillful. And yeah, I just went full force in Tantra and the Tantric path. So, I, of course, all the branches of Tantra are extremely powerful. I love them all. They're all very unique and they offer unique benefits and spiritual growth. But Tantra massage, I guess, has always been or always will be my first love just because that's where I started. And it just did so much for me to break me open and to expand my mind and expand my energy and expand my heart and my passion. So, and because I had such a transformative experience myself firsthand, I wanted to bring that to other people like so deeply. I wanted to just share this with everybody, especially Americans, because as an American myself, I can tell you that we are quite conservative and suppressed in many ways when it comes to sexuality, when it comes to energy, when it comes to our sexual potential, our orgasmic potential, our intimacy, and so on. And I wanted to help my fellow Americans. I wanted every one of them to experience what I experienced with Tantra massage. So I kind of made it my mission to bring authentic Tantra and Tantra massage to America. So I've been doing that ever since. And yeah, so I'm kind of the second half of this relationship breakthrough couples retreat. I'm joining force with Cheryl. We've been, as you know, as you've learned, Cheryl's been doing her work for 30 years. I've been doing my work for almost 10 years now. we've been doing it separately, and only recently were we like, I wonder what would happen if we merged these two very powerful paths and approaches, to love, to relationship mastery, to intimacy, and to healing. If we merge them, what would be birthed? So the relationship breakthrough couples retreat is our love child. It is two alchemical paths that are coming together, merging together to create this uh, this cauldron, this very transformational experience for couples, because it's only 7 days. So whatever we're teaching has to be pretty powerful. It has to be pretty transformative, and it has to take you from A to Z in that 7 days. And that is what we are intending to accomplish. So that's a little bit about Cheryl and I. Hopefully that gives you some background and gives you some of that connection with us, where we come from, what we're doing, why we do what we do, why we have the passion that we do what we do. And we can't wait to meet you in the couples retreat setting, and to just get to know you on a deeper level.
Yes. Yes.
So from here, we're going to jump into the three pillars of the relationship breakthrough couples retreat. There are three pillars, and we're going to go through each one of those, what that looks like on a practical level, what you can expect, what you will gain, and so on. So that is going to be our next topic of discussion, the three pillars of the relationship breakthrough couples retreat. Okay, so up next, as I mentioned, our topic of discussion is the three pillars of the relationship breakthrough couples retreat. So there are three pillars. The first pillar would be tantra massage, which is something I'm going to facilitate. It's going to encompass really the first few days of the retreat are strictly going to be oriented to and focusing on tantra massage in the retreat. And there is a reason for that. I'll explain that shortly. And then the tantra massage portion will continue throughout the whole 7 days. It's just those first few days are really going to be tensely focused on tantra massage. And then the second component of the retreat is going to be Cheryl's Art of Conscious Relating, where she's going to come in and she's going to teach you how to relate on a conscious, heartfelt, purposeful, mission filled type of a way. So it's a completely different paradigm from what we've been taught or programmed to believe in terms of how we're supposed to relate with another human, and especially with a partner, an intimate partner. And then that final pillar is going to be like the culmination of these two methodologies, these two approaches, these two pillars coming together and creating. We're going to teach you like how they fit together in daily life, in your relationship, how you can continue to refer back to them, reference back to them again and again to support your relationship so that it continues to up levels and up grows, so that you never get into that stagnant or kind of desperate place in your relationship again. You have powerful tools that you can refer back to that can get you out of any conundrum, any pickle within a relationship. So that last pillar is really just bringing it all together and helping you to embody everything that you've learned thus far. So I will start with the first pillar then. Cheryl, if you don't mind, I'll jump in with tantra massage, why it is a part of the relationship breakthrough couples retreat, and then I will hand the stage over to Cheryl to explain exactly what she does and how it's supportive in this process, in the breakthrough process. So with tantra massage, firstly, it's not any kind of ordinary type of massage. So it's interesting because you have the word tantra and you have the word massage, and both of them come with their own misconceptions or mistruths, we could call them, right? Everybody has kind of a different interpretation about what those two words mean. When we talk about tantra, when you say that word, especially I find this in the West, in America, oftentimes when you say tantra, people immediately think of sex, that tantra means sex, that tantra is some sort of way to spice up your sex life, that it's some sort of like kinky positions, I don't know, that you do in sexual intimacy, or that it's sacred sexuality and so on. None of that is true about tantra. Actually, tantra is a very deep, very comprehensive very ancient spiritual path, actually. So the purpose of Tantra is to take you from A to Z in terms of your evolution, in terms of your spiritual growth. That is actually Tantra is a spiritual path, first and foremost. So it is also one of the very few authentic spiritual paths that embraces and incorporates energy. So it's a spiritual path, but it's a spiritual path of energy, meaning that all the branches, because Tantra is kind of this umbrella, right? And underneath it, there are many branches within the Tantric realm. So all of the branches utilize, harness, receive, emit, channel, and um, yeah, like energy is the foundation of every single one of the branches. And we use energy to up level us spiritually, to help us to evolve our soul, to up level our consciousness, to take our consciousness from a very basic level to a more spiritual level. And all of the paths are designed to do just that. So, Tantra massage is just one of the many branches of Tantra. Now, when I say Tantra doesn't equal sex, Tantra is not sex, it doesn't mean that the Tantric teachings don't have a sexual component to it, because they do. There is a Tantric sexuality branch, and that branch of Tantra is a spiritual form of sexuality that is, again, designed to evolve your soul and uplevel you spiritually, take you to the divine ultimately. But all of Tantra is not sexuality. It's just one of the many branches. So if Tantra is considered a pie, and let's say there's 6 slices to this pie, then the tantric sexuality branch of Tantra is just 1/6. It's just one slice of that whole pie. So if I take a slice of pie out of a whole pie and put it on a plate, I can't hand that to someone and say, hey, here's a whole pie. They'd look at you like you're crazy, right? In the same way, I can't take one brick from a house and say, hey, this is, this one brick is a house. It's a part of the house. It's a fundamental part of the house. It is helping with the integrity and the structure of the house, but it's not the whole house. So the same thing with a branch. Like if you have a tree, a whole tree, and there's just one branch, you can't cut that branch off and say, hey, here's the whole tree. So I hope I make myself clear. The sexuality teachings are a part of Tantra for sure, but they're not all of Tantra. And they're very powerful and very amazing and extraordinary teachings, but they're not all of Tantra. So, Tantra massage is another branch of Tantra. It's not really one that you're going to find referenced in the authentic ancient texts. I will tell you that up front. Tantra massage is more of a modern creation that was brought forth by modern tantrics who saw a need, who saw that there was kind of this disconnect between modern humans and the higher tantric practices. Um, they saw that many modern humans, just because of so many different factors, because a lot of us have a lot of impurities and toxins floating through our body just because of the environment that we live in. Our minds are insane. They're like monkey minds, right? And we have a hard time concentrating. Many of us have a hard time sitting in a meditative position or a cross-legged position, or sitting on the floor, or sitting in stillness. So all of these like kind of modern issues, these modern problems that many of us face, can prevent us from doing the higher tantric practices. So modern tantrics came in and they're like, listen, we need something, we need like a bridge, like an intermediary kind of practice that's going to help with these kind of essential issues that modern human beings face all the time, that will allow them to overcome a lot of those issues, so that they can start to do those higher tantric practices with more comfort, with more ease, with more concentration, and so on. So Tantra massage is one of the branches of Tantra. And it is a spiritual form of massage, and it works with energy, right? Because we know that all of the tantric branches work towards spirituality and they all encompass energy. And it is not a massage in the traditional sense, meaning that we're not massaging the physical tissues to try to release tension or to get knots out of the body, or to even to bring you to a state of relaxation. Of course, those things can happen in a tantra massage, but that is not our primary intention or goal. So with tantra massage, our goal is to just really awaken a human being energetically. And what that means is that we all, as human beings, are energetic beings first and foremost. So this little meat suit that we can feel and touch and move and all the things, the meat suit is actually not us. It's not who we truly are. We are first and foremost energy in ecstatic motion. So the energy that we are consumed or made of is vibrating at a certain frequency that gives the impression that we are like a physical, that we are tangible, but we are energy in ecstatic motion. And so many of us have forgotten this about ourselves and don't realize it and don't feel it. Many of us are kind of numb or immune to energy and the fact that we are energy and we have energy coursing through us. So tantra massage serves as a great bridge, as a great stepping stone to start to awaken a person to their energetic makeup, to their energetic essence. So we go in, we do massage the physical body, but not again in the traditional sense. We are using oils and the point is energy. So we are trying to purify the energy channels because as I said, a lot of people have impurities and toxins in their system that prevent energy from flowing properly. So we want to clean out the pipes, so to speak, right? Like if we have a like a water pipe and it has a bunch of calcium buildup or whatever plaque inside of it, then that water, that flow of water is going to be very minor. It's going to be a trickle and not a free flowing, gushing faucet that we want it to be. So we need to clean the pipes. And so Tantra massage helps to clean the pipes, which are the energy channels. Tantra massage also helps to awaken, to balance, harmonize, clean, purify, awaken and arouse all of our chakras as well. So inside of us, every single one of us, whether we're aware of them or not, conscious of them or not, have energy centers throughout our entire being that span from below, like just below the root, like the root chakra, basically. So in the area of the genitals, all the way up to the top of the head. So we're cleaning the pipes, the energy channels. We are doing all sorts of things to the chakras, as I mentioned, balancing, harmonizing, activating, arousing, all the things. And we are also re-educating your energy system. So we, right now, for many modern human beings, the energy kind of flows in sort of a disharmonious, non-productive sort of way. And so we are re-educating that energy to flow in a more spiritual, a more harmonious, a more powerful, empowering type of way. So the reason why, so that's a little bit about, sorry, that was a very long explanation about Tantra massage, but it's hard to explain it in just a couple of sentences. So that is Tantra massage. We are massaging the physical body, but again, with energetic intentions. And we're awakening you more and more and more to energy. So there's innate energy inside of you, and then there's also external energy sources that we can capitalize, that we can harness as well. And by doing both, we can make this whole like catalyst of energy flow and energy experiences. Yeah. Do you want to say anything to that, Cheryl, or shall I continue? Okay.
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay, so she's nodding in agreement. So she gets it. So we all have energy flowing inside of us, and there is energy outside of us. And as a Tantra massage giver, I am in charge of, or I'm facilitating, or I'm supporting your energetic system in various ways. And because of that, because energy is sort of this unlimited resource, this unlimited force in the universe that we all have access to, we can use that energy for various purposes. We can use it. It's mainly used in Tantra massage actually for healing. Tantra massage is one of the most healing modalities I've personally ever come across. Tantra massage and the energy that's incorporated into Tantra massage is used for the purpose of unearthing anything that is not your true nature from your system. It's used to unearth anything that is not your true nature from your system. So that can be from the physical level. Maybe there's pain, discomfort, dis-ease in the system. That can be on the energetic level. Maybe there's energetic blockages or areas of your body where the energy is not flowing properly for various reasons. That can be emotional baggage or accumulation or basically emotions that have been suppressed or repressed and are basically locked in our system. Tantra massage can release that. It can help with the mental level. It can definitely help with like creating a spiritual awakening and opening within your system. It can help on the sexual level if you are someone who's ever had trauma or not. If you're someone who even just has perhaps potential sexual blockages that prevent you from experiencing your full pleasure potential that is your birthright. So tantra massage is healing first and foremost, and it has the possibility to basically unearth anything that isn't you, that isn't your full radiant divine extraordinary unique self. And so we start with tantra massage in the relationship breakthrough couples retreat because it's like it cleans the slate, right? It's a great purifier, and it kind of tenderizes you. It doesn't kind of tenderize you, it totally tenderizes you. It takes you from a person, an individual, or a couple who maybe comes in with a lot of history, with perhaps a lot of wounds that have never been healed, some frustrations, maybe some bitterness. If you come with disagreements that you've never been able to resolve, or betrayal or hurt, pain, suffering, I don't know, no intimacy, no sexuality, whatever you come to the table with as a couple, tantra massage is going to purify that from you as an individual and in your coupleship as well, in your relationship dynamic. So it really kind of, and it breaks you open, it really tenderizes you, because a lot of times individuals and couples will come into retreats such as this where they're kind of hardened, right? And their heart is closed, and they maybe have lost hope, and they are kind of drowning in their own emotional overwhelm and drama and trauma. And it's really hard to see that, it's hard to see that light at the end of the tunnel. They've kind of just basically given up. And tantra massage comes in and completely like resets the system inside of you, so that you are more open, so that your heart is open, so that you have hope, so that you feel comfortable being vulnerable. And it goes in and it kind of cleanses out and releases old narratives, old stories, old paradigms that are no longer serving you. So I like to I like to think of it, like when we are cooking in the kitchen and we have a chicken breast that's kind of a huge giant chicken breast, and we know that it's going to take really long to cook, right? So what do? We start pounding it. We start tenderizing it. We take our tenderizer, our mallet, and we start pounding that chicken so that it becomes half the size or even flat. So that we can then not only impregnate it with delicious, amazing ingredients and flavors, but then we can also cook it in a shorter period of time. And that's what we're doing in this relationship breakthrough retreat. So you guys, as a couple, you're coming in, I'm sorry to say, as chicken breasts, and tantra massage is going to tenderize you, and it's going to kind of help to get rid of some of that armor that prevents you from going deeper and from seeing a different perspective. And we're going to first tenderize you, open your heart, make you a bit vulnerable, and help you to be open to another paradigm, another mindset, another way of being, of living, of relating. And then Cheryl's going to come in and she's going to impregnate you with all these amazing ingredients and new flavors that you've never experienced before in your life. And then we're going to cook you in a very short period of time, 7 days to be exact. So yeah, that's a little bit about tantra massage. Why we start with it, as those first few days are very crucial. They're very auspicious, and we want to really we want to take advantage of it. So you're going to be coming in with the raw, tender truth of your relationship, and we are going to tenderize you, and we're going to help you to break free and break through. So Cheryl then comes in with all her magic. So Cheryl, take it away. After I tenderize this beautiful group of humans and couples that are coming into our lovely cauldron, what do you
Yeah, that,
do? What's next?
that was beautiful, Tiffany. So let me just say I've had Tiffany's experience. I've been tenderized by Tiffany. So I can tell you firsthand that the tenderizing process does what Tiffany says, right? It opens you up and begins to move us from our head and into our heart spaces. It begins to bring forward, right? As we move out of our heads, we're literally getting into our subconscious mind, where all these outdated perspectives and beliefs and thought and memories, all these things that have been stored that are now being exposed, are able to come forward really easily. We're also accessing the nervous system, which allows the nervous system to sort of regulate itself into safety as the tenderizing process is happening. and the heart starts to open, the nervous system comes online. And then this is where it's required for us to be assisted with what do we do now to bring in the new mindset? What are the skills do we need to actually bring into focus the things that we want to bring into the practical reality? Because it's one thing to be tenderized. And then if you move back into your exact same experience, if your outer world hasn't changed itself, but you've kind of moved all this juice or energy around, right? And you go back into your regular routine of things, sometimes it's hard to keep the tenderizing experience going. And this is where it's really helpful to collaborate with your body, mind, and spirit connection from the Tantra massage into this more the art of conscious relating. And these two intersect in that the art of conscious relating is that returns us to the divine. In my process, I'm going to help you to also come back in and deeply connect and come into divine coherence, body, mind, and spirit, so that you're able to step into becoming a secure attachment for yourself, with yourself in your relationship to God, to the divine source, spirit, whatever you want to call that. And so we get to come back into your coupleship and start to look at how your relationship is overlaid. What are the dynamics that are going on? What are the strategies? What are the patterns? Maybe at this point you've been exposed to, the victim, the perpetrator, the rescuer, the anxiety attached, the avoidant attached, the dysregulated attached, the disorganized. There's so many labels. And in this particular experience, I'm going to expose you to some tools and ways to see yourself more clearly, to have a deeper self-reflection and start to take personal responsibility for how you've been showing up. Not as a space to blame, but as a space to just really assume total responsibility for your energy, to start to become sovereign as an energetic being. As Tiffany explained earlier, we are all energy. This whole conversation, this whole 7 days is really about bringing an energetic and what's like a non-physical view into very physical view in a very practical way, so that you're, as an individual, coming online with your divine blueprint and then relating that to the other person who's also coming online in their divine blueprint. And so we'll have a tool, a mirror tool, so that you can start to reflect on yourself in the reflection of your beloved. See the spaces where you're really in alignment with appreciation, but really also repulsed by your beloved. And all these spaces where there's a contrast, where you feel really deeply in love with somebody and also very confused and sometimes really repulsed and really feeling like you're a victim. And in this cauldron, as we're speaking, you're going to get to see how you're actually not a victim, and that you're actually responsible for the strategies and the patterns and the experiences that you're having in your relationship. You stop blaming. We stop blaming ourselves and others. We stop shaming ourselves and others, right? We learn to stop projecting in the conversation of energy. We stop projecting. We stop deflecting. We start taking personal responsibility. And this is all very practical. Very practical. We're going to have a very practical experience of your nervous system and regulating to safety, a very tangible experience with your subconscious mind. What is it that your subconscious is projecting into that world, so that you can call that back and consciously begin, right, to radiate out the experiences that you want to have. And so we're going to do this after you've been tenderized, and a lot of this stuff that's been hidden, right? You've had heart walls, and the heart walls start to come on, and then the hurts and the pains and the vulnerabilities begin to come forward. Your nervous system is relaxing into security, and so all of those really stinky things about your own thinking start to come forward, so that we then can start to change that. We can start to mend. We can start to drop in the new perspectives that we need to have and begin to bring them into practice. And so after those first few days, then we're going to integrate the Tantra into having these deeper conversations with me, these deeper ways to reflect on yourself and start to take a lot of responsibility, a way to really look into your ancestors' line and really begin to understand your legacy. We're going to look at the masculine and feminine energies that make up both the feminine embodied and the masculine embodied. And we're going to see how important it is to begin to really assume responsibility for how your inner dynamics is happening, how to come to your conversations with God first before you bring your conversations to your beloved, and to really see and take full responsibility for how you're showing up in a relationship, how to be in your own vulnerability, and how to use conflict as a pathway for deep intimacy, connection, and a return to the divine. Just talking about it gets me so excited. It feels so. And the beauty of all this is, and I think Tiffany's going to get us to this, is that between the Tantra and the tools and the skills that you're going to leave with, you'll always have a way to come back and reset yourself and expand. Because ultimately, the difference between the old paradigm of relating and the new paradigm of relating is we're going to move from getting to service and giving and receiving consciously, giving and receiving consciously. And the whole purpose for that is growth. And so that's the piece that I'm going to bring into it. And I'm going to overlay it into what's already beginning to happen with you through the Tantra piece. What I'm going to do is create an opportunity for our couples to have a coaching session where they can complete a conflict, right? And walk through the process and complete a conflict. And what happens, what Tantra does for us in this part of the journey is it's like we've said, it's taking down walls over our heart space, right? It's opening our subconscious mind. It's bringing our nervous system. And these are all the things that are determining our capacity to grow and feel safe. So when you complete a conflict in our process with me and the work that you've done before we got to that completion, what happens is in that moment, your body, mind, and spirit regulates to safety. And it makes everything that you brought to our retreat and all the things that you processed through and marinated in and brought to that moment where you came with a conflict that you were going to complete, it lodges as an embodied event in your body. It regulates your nervous system to safety, and it literally informs your subconscious mind of a new set point in your reality of relating. It's priceless. It literally changes everything. It changes the set point at which you're going to experience yourself, love, trust, conflict, embodiment, your capacity to grow and to hold more and more of that which you desire to experience. It's, in my opinion, right? This is my opinion. It's a priceless event. It's a priceless opportunity to taste, feel, and embody something. It's like a gift that keeps on giving. They say trauma is a gift that keeps on giving. And in my view, healing and integration is a gift that keeps on giving, and it yields over and over again love. There's nothing else. It just yields love in a secure space in love, and it yields more love in a secure space in love, and it's a repeatable journey. It's a repeatable process. I'm going to just down my passion a little bit, but
I know we could talk hours about this stuff. But many of us live in this sort of conscious mind type of a thing. Like we're very cerebral. We're more in our head than we are in our heart. We're not really feeling, right? We're just kind of we're on like autopilot mode in a way. So many couples that are coming to the retreat, that's where they're at. They're in this kind of very pedestrian type of a way of living. And it's difficult to see yourself truly and authentically and clearly in that state. It's difficult to see your relationship, especially when you've been in, like, this bubble of relationship. Maybe there's a lot of conflict, and not a whole lot of resolution happening, and there's maybe arguments, tension, and so on. It's very hard to see clearly. So you kind of come in a bit of a haze when we first get you, on those first few days. And tantra massage, again, like, helps to clear away some of this, like, the autopilot mode that you're in. It helps you to get you into your, because it's a physical practice. We're working with the physical body. So it gets you into your body, it gets you into your feelings and emotions, it gets you into your heart. And then we can kind of clear away like the superficial stories and narratives that are probably not true, and we start to get to the heart of the issue. We start to get to the truth of what's really happening inside yourself and inside of your partnership. And that's where we can make change. That's where we can go deeper. So it is like we kind of start with you at the conscious level of the mind, and we're slowly, again, tenderizing you so that we can get you to start to see what's happening in the background in your subconscious mind. And then Cheryl has the possibility, because you're open now, has the possibility to go in there and rewire the subconscious mind, or at least give you the new programming, the new paradigm, so that the rewiring has the potential to take root, and we can set new neural pathways in how you view the world, how you view love, how you view yourself, how you view your partner, and so on. So there's this total rewiring and total reset or new set of neural pathways.
Yeah, let me just clarify something on that. So I don't necessarily do the rewiring. What happens is I'm going to open up dialogue with you in such a way that what's authentically true for you in your evolution and your shifting from karma to dhamma, and in your relationship and dialogue with God, with the divine, with spirit, what is true and right for you will drop in naturally through conversation, through me having a dialogue. And so all I'm going to do for you is open up an opportunity for you to reflect and allow something to drop in that is much more true for you. And it's that opening within yourself that allows the rewiring to take place for you. It's really, truly moving from a matrix, right? A blueprint that you're currently in that's steeped in conditioning, literally moving you into a more organic, divine blueprint. And whatever that truth is gets to come down and drop into your consciousness and formulate in your own words, and then become your truth. And that's how rewiring or reconditioning or whatever we want to call it, which probably doesn't do it justice, but you're literally returning from or going back to a more divine, organic way of existing in your body, mind, and spirit connection. The wiring of that, the energy pathways of that. And it's coming from your organic connection to the divine, your intuitive channel that's coming from your own open heart in the moments that we're in this journey. It's a natural occurrence. It's the natural way of how this will go, just based upon how we're going to be doing the work. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So hopefully you've been able to decipher that this is not any kind of ordinary couples retreat. Like there's nothing superficial about this. This is like a complete and total rebirth, we like to say. It's a rebirth, it's a rewiring, it's a fresh start. It's so many different things. So yeah. I just want to if I could, Cheryl, I would like to just touch a little bit on what the tantra massage practice looks like, because I feel like maybe that's sometimes unclear for couples. Like, what do you mean? We're massaging each other. You're massaging us. Like, what's happening in the tantra massage arena? And then Cheryl's gonna just finish up this part of the conversation with pillar 3, which is where these two things come together: the tantra massage and the art of conscious relating come together, and we complete the cycle, we complete the journey, the package. So when it comes to tantra massage, This you as your coupleship, you and your partner are going to be massaging each other. So I'm there as your guide. I'm going to be teaching you a step-by-step protocol that includes the whole body from the head to the toes, and that includes actually the genitals. So you will learn what we call in Tantra the sacred yoni, which is the Sanskrit word for vagina, and the sacred lingam, which is the Sanskrit word for penis massage. But Tantra massage, you come in now, not to worry. Yes, there are elements of nudity involved with Tantra massage. But this is done in a very respectful way. Like we are always taking it to the highest degree of respect, and yeah, we just make sure that it's not some like nude fest. Not that there's anything wrong with the nude fest, but it's not a nude fest. Like we are couples are, we're setting up massage spaces on the floor, and you come out. So as the receiver of the massage, you'll come out in a sarong, actually covered up. Your partner will be fully dressed. The giver of the massage will be fully dressed. And yeah, and you're basically executing all of the massage techniques. And the massage itself is very thorough. As I said, it addresses every single part of the body. And you will be both in the giving and the receiving role. So you'll be able to not only practice the techniques on your partner, but you'll also be receiving, of course, as well, which is beautiful. So you get to experience both sides of the massage practice. Now, when it comes to genital massage, I don't want to dive too deeply into this because that could be a whole 2 hour lecture in and of itself. But just know that when it comes to the genitals, the yoni for the woman and the lingam for the man, not only are the genitals powerful storehouses of energy, like they're powerhouses essentially, and we can utilize that energy. The sexual energy is the most potent, most powerful, most dynamic energy on the planet, and we can actually use it outside of the sexual arena. It doesn't have to just be utilized in sexuality or in procreation. It's a neutral energy. We can use it to create the relationship of our dreams. We can use it to create a business. We can use it to create art and so on. So we want to be able to unleash that energy. We want to harmonize that energy. We want to yeah, we want to harness it as well. So we do include genital massage. Also, in addition to the genitals being a powerhouse, having all this power, they're also a storehouse for crap. They're a storehouse for things like traumas, for bitterness, for resentment, for unhealed wounds, for whatever the case may be. And this is especially true for women because our genitals are internal, right? Naturally, men's are external, but it can work the same for both men and women. So just know that Tantra does not like we don't shun the genitals just because it's inconvenient or it's not, status quo, or it's not socially acceptable or whatnot, or it's shameful or embarrassing or whatever the case is. No, like you are a whole divine being. And if you are a divine being, then your genitals are also divine. Like you can't say the genitals are non-divine and I'm divine. Like they are a creation of the divine, they are a creation of God. And so we do not ignore them. And because they require so much healing and so much harmonizing and balancing and whatnot, we don't ignore them. We go straight to it and we massage them. The genital massage is not a sexual service, believe it or not. It's not done in a sexual way. It's not done for the purposes of pleasure, although pleasure can come from it, but that's not our intention. Our intention is always healing, and we can heal the area of the genitals, and we can unleash the power that is contained there because it's so expansive and so amazing. So yes, we are in a group setting with the tantra massage practice. We each of the couples will have their own massage spaces. There'll be a giver, there'll be a receiver, there'll be oil, we'll be massaging the physical body, but not only, we'll also be working with how to arouse the energy body and how to even do some hands-off energy work and techniques and so on. And it's a step-by-step process that I'll be guiding you through. And yeah, it's just an amazing tool that you guys as a couple can refer back to again and again and again. It's not like you use massage, the tantra massage in the retreat, and that's it. No, this is a tool for life that you're going to have the techniques and the knowledge and the skills to utilize again and again and again. So Cheryl, if you wouldn't mind kind of bringing this particular topic to a wrap, could you please maybe talk a little bit about pillar 3, which is right the culmination point, the wrapping up of the whole journey for the couple, and having them embody what they've learned between the two of us.
And everything that we're going to give you to do, you're going to take it home. It's going to be like your manual. You didn't start out with a manual, but we're going to give you a manual, and it won't even be the Tiffany Cheryl manual. It will be the manual of the two people that's in that relationship, and what comes through you and what comes to you together, that will become your manual, and you'll be able to refer to it over and over again. And that's the embodiment. That's the culmination. That's the repeating process. And by the way, Tiffany and I are going to give you the groundwork for something that you as a couple will build on. You'll find more and more of your own unique expression as you practice this way that we're going to introduce to you of relating over and over and over again. So it is.
Yes. So beautiful way of wrapping up pillar 3. So that's so true. And again, this is what makes us stand out in terms of our retreat experience, I think, from many other couples retreats out there. And that is that, as Cheryl said, you're going to have your own unique, customized manual for relating that's specific to your coupleship. And not only are you going to have this manual that you can refer back to again and again, but you're going to know how to expand that manual as the need arises, right? So you're never in a stagnant place. You always have the ability to go up and up and up and create and create and create to match the level and the consciousness of your relationship. So thank you, Cheryl, for that. All right, so we are wrapping up this conversation, and I would like to move to our next topic of conversation, which is who is this relationship breakthrough couples retreat for? Okay, so our next topic of conversation is who is this retreat for and who is it not for? So when we talk about like who is the couple that's going to benefit the most from this, first off, we want to clearly say that this relationship breakthrough couples retreat is not just for a couple who's struggling or who's in disarray in their relationship or is having major challenges or who's maybe on the cusp of a divorce or a separation. Of course, the relationship breakthrough couples retreat will absolutely be relevant to those types of couples for sure, but not only. So in addition to that, if you are in a loving, healthy, happy partnership as well, you can also benefit from this retreat in a big, amazing, extraordinary way. I know that so far, Cheryl and I have kind of talked a lot about like this common struggles that couples face, but obviously not every couple is the same. Not every couple is in the same degree of harmony or disharmony as another couple. So this retreat really covers a spectrum of coupleship, and whatever status or state your relationship is in, you can benefit greatly from this retreat for so many different ways and reasons. So who is this retreat for? Well, of course, any couple who wants to upgrade their relationship to the next level. And that could be on the physical level, maybe in terms of like sexuality and intimacy. Maybe you want new tools. Maybe you want to learn how to expand your pleasure potential as a couple. You can learn that definitely through tantra massage for sure. And then, of course, Cheryl, just because of what she teaches, it brings a lot more emotional intimacy and vulnerability to the dynamic. And it can also help you to improve on the physical, sexual, intimate level for sure. It's going to help you for sure on the energetic level if you're maybe a couple that's new to energy or the idea of energy or feeling energy, sensing energy, recognizing energy within the coupleship, the dynamic, then of course it's going to help to expand your knowledge and your wisdom and your perception and your sensitivity to energy. Tantra massage, of course, is going to crack you wide open when it comes to the energetic level. And of course, the emotional level, tantra massage can create a lot of emotional healing between a couple. It can help to release a lot of old wounds or stagnant energy or things that are just sort of lingering in the coupleship that prevents you from going to the next level. And mentally, for sure, Cheryl's going to help a lot with the mental level and just giving you the possibility of a new paradigm. She's going to be expanding your mind and your view on what is possible. She's going to be working with your conscious and your subconscious mind. And then spiritually, as I said, this retreat can create a whole spiritual awakening or reawakening for you. So if you are a couple that wants to take your relationship to the next level, you can benefit greatly from this retreat for sure. If you are a couple that does have challenges or struggles, or feeling like you are kind of at the wit's end of your relationship, you don't know where to go from here, you still love your partner dearly, but it's just been years and years of cyclical patterns and you can't seem to come out of it. You're the hamster on the hamster wheel now, like I was initially way back when I first came on the path of tantra. You're the hamster in the hamster wheel and you just don't know how to get off of the cycle. You don't know how to get off the wheel. You don't know where to go and how to even begin to repair your relationship. Then this retreat is definitely for you. Cheryl, can you add to that? Anybody else who you think that this breakthrough retreat will benefit in a great way? Anything that I missed?
Yeah, the couple that comes to mind is oftentimes couples that have a really good connection, but they're not sure. Like they're not sure about what to do next, and they're both sitting in a seat of I'm just not sure. And I get this a lot, right? That couples that just aren't sure. This is a great opportunity to come into a real honest way, a real honest path of being present for what's in that space.
Yeah, like really becoming present with the raw, tender truth of your relationship, we love to say. And maybe the couple that you mentioned is like the couple that like again, they're good. They're like, listen, there's nothing wrong with our relationship, but they might say something like, it feels like something's missing, or it feels like there's something more. Like maybe they've ticked all the boxes when it comes to like a successful marriage, a successful career, maybe the finances and abundance is all in check, kids, they've got grandkids, they've got all the things that society tells them are the standard, the gold standard of a perfect relationship, but they just don't know, like, is there more? Did we hit our roof, our ceiling, or can we go beyond that? And of course the answer to that is a big fat yes, you can. And maybe that's the type of couple that Cheryl's referencing here.
Yes, it's the couple, perhaps the woman, that just knows that there's something missing. There's something, and we're not talking about it. We're not talking about it. This is an opportunity to come and confront whatever those things are that's sitting there in the space where we don't want to talk about this because we're afraid of what the outcome is going to be.
Okay, yeah, it's like the couple, I run into a lot of couples that are like, I mean, things are good. Like we don't fight, we communicate, life is peaceful, we have a nice sex life. And then there's the but dot dot dot, like they're not really sure how to tap into that dot dot dot. The unknown, perhaps, or the elephant in the room that's hasn't been spoken and doesn't have a name or something like that.
It's the couple that's sitting in the space, and it could be the woman that's sitting in the space of there's something, and I am afraid of what's in the unknown. What does it mean to feel like there's more depth there? And so it's coming, knowing that we're going to come and discover the unknown. And whatever that is, we want to know now.
Yes.
And
So
I want to teach you how to hold an unknown. That is like one of the biggest things about relationships is to move out of the realm of expectation and to find curiosity and the unknown. But it's this kind of a retreat, and you could be thinking, oh, everything's fine. I don't want to start a problem. I don't want to say something and hurt my partner's feelings. No, this is the opportunity to be like, everything we have is great, and I can feel that there's something And I do want to jostle the apple cart.
Yeah. But they don't have to be mutually exclusive. It's not like you have to say, well, things are great and I don't want to jostle the apple cart. And I mean, I don't want to, I don't want to hurt my partner's feelings. But I also know that, there's something more. Like those can be inclusive with each other. You can have a great relationship and there can also be something more. So don't be afraid of that, couples out there, if that resonates true with you.
Yeah.
Now, when it comes to who this retreat is not for, Cheryl, do you have any ideas of who this retreat is not for?
Yes. This retreat is not for a couple that doesn't have the proclivity to look into the reality of their connection to the divine. That's not a conversation that they're going to be willing to entertain with us. Or that they are really steadfast on the belief that the other person is responsible for them, and that they're going to come to this retreat hoping that this retreat is going to change the other person, and that they're going to be validated in the fact that they've been a victim all this time. This retreat is not for the couple that doesn't want to take full responsibility for becoming sovereign for who they are as an energetic source of energy that they're fully responsible for, and how they are relating to somebody else in the containment.
I would say also from my standpoint from Tantra massage, if you have a lot of conservative thoughts or feelings when it comes to sexuality or to nudity or to the genitals, and you can't imagine yourself in sort of a group environment where there are elements of nudity, not full on nudity, but elements of nudity, and that is something that makes you extremely uncomfortable or goes against any sort of morals or values or ethics or perhaps religious beliefs, then I would say that this retreat is likely not for you as well. I really welcome couples that have an open mind, that are willing to, maybe you're not completely comfortable, but at least you have that open mind to experience something new and to kind of shed these programs, these beliefs, these limitations regarding your body, regarding sexuality, regarding nudity, and so on. So you don't have to be fully comfortable, but even just having that open mind is enough to be able to join this retreat, I would say.
Okay.
All right, so that sums up this topic regarding who is this retreat for. And our next topic of conversation is who are you as a couple? So when you arrive versus when you leave. So the old paradigm versus the new paradigm. That is going to be our next topic of conversation. Okay, so our next topic of conversation in this detailed video regarding our relationship breakthrough couples retreat is who are you as a couple before you arrive or when you arrive to the retreat, and who are you when you leave? Many couples operate from what I like to call, maybe Cheryl has a different term for this, but what I like to call is like a business transaction, right? It's like I give you 2 units of love, you give me 2 units of love. Like there's this exchange, and if you're not going to give me 2 units of love, then I'm not going to give you my love, kind of a thing. So there's this business transaction where you're like striking deals and you're negotiating love and you're negotiating affection and you're negotiating, I don't know, favors or housework or I don't know, responsibilities or whatnot. So this is the old paradigm of relating that Cheryl and I both see in our work again and again and again. And I can tell you that this type of relating only leads to demise in a relationship. It is not sustainable, and it certainly doesn't feel good. It's not a place of safety and security in a relationship. It's not a place where a couple or an individual can blossom, can shine, and can really kind of reach their fullest potential. So, yeah, that is how most couples will be arriving to this couples retreat. But when they leave, it's going to be a far different paradigm. It's going to be a far different scenario. So, Cheryl, maybe you want to speak to this topic because I know that this one is really close to your heart and something that you address a lot in the coaching environment.
Well, you've said it beautifully. I mean, when you arrive, you're in an old paradigm of relating. So basically, you're relating from what it is that you've learned from your past, right? You're coming into this relationship, and you've been surviving in relationship through this, you know, like living as a little kid. You know, you've been in this relationship trying to get from the other person what you didn't get as a child. You've been living and creating through the model of relating that was literally modeled for you through your caregivers at the time and through what was happening in the world at the time. And so you're just coming in on repeat. You're just in this process of really, and now you're an adult and you're looking for your partner to give you something that you never received. And your partner's trying to get you to give you something that they've never received. It's just this thing. When you leave, we're going to have given you this way to really become a resource for yourself, and then to be able to relate consciously so that you're in a space of being in your relationship through a conscious way of relating and taking responsibility for learning how to give yourself what you never received as a child, and how to be present with your partner and understanding who they are and what's going on in their healing world. And so then this becomes an opportunity to shift from getting something to saying, hey, we're two people and we have all of these flaws and we're coming together and we're not necessarily going to be perfect. So how can this relationship serve us to learn how to begin to take full responsibility for who we are based upon what's showing up in our containment? And then this is a relationship that becomes a relationship of service, of conscious agreements, of ways to become more intimate and available, to be able to live in our truth, to be able to speak our truth, to take deep responsibility for what we're feeling inside of ourselves, instead of trying to get somebody else to take responsibility for how we're feeling or give us things that we assume they should be giving us because we never actually got what we needed earlier on in our life. And so we stop relating to our partner as if it's a parent, and we start relating to the person in front of us as a human being and relating to them holistically, body, mind, and spirit, in all aspects of who they are. We are not assuming that we have shared values and that we're compatible around everything, but we really know how to have conscious relationships about our values and be honest about our compatibilities so that we are comfortable witnessing and giving birth to a total human being and serving in that process, versus coming into a relationship and expecting somebody to be something that we've needed. So different.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it is
different.
so delicious to think about this type of relationship paradigm where it's about sacred service. It's not about what can you do for me, but how can I serve you, you know, in a very conscious, beautiful, intentional way, you know, something not in a way where I'm depleting myself to serve you or to help you or whatever it is, but it's like I'm so full within myself. Like I know that everything that I need is something that I can provide for myself. I let you off the hook. Like you, partner, my beloved, are off the hook. You're no longer responsible for my happiness or how I feel or my pleasure or anything. You're no longer responsible for that. And I wish I'm so full within myself. I give myself everything I need, and my cup is overflowing, and I want to be in service to you as a result of that. So it's really this like a total shift, a total like time space continuum shift in comparison to how we're relating and how we've been taught how to relate, if you can even call it that. You know, it's amazing to me. I said to Cheryl in a previous chat that we had that we have like we're given a manual on how to drive a car. We're given a manual on, I don't know, how to play the piano. Like we're given a manual on how to file our taxes, which by the way is 6,000 pages on how to file your taxes. And yet when it comes to sex, we are given no real deep explanation or manual on how to do sacred sexuality. We oftentimes unfortunately turn to porn for that. and we're given no manual for relating, for how to relate with another human being. So the only blueprint that we have is that which is passed down from our parents or from our caretakers, and whatever model that is, whether it's good, bad, right, wrong, or indifferent, is the model that we it's all we know. So it's what we take into our relationship with a significant other. And yeah, it's a great disservice. I think it's a great disservice to love. It's a great disservice to your partner. It's a great disservice to yourself. It's a great disservice to humanity. And we are here in this relationship breakthrough couples retreat to really change all that.
Yeah, I want to add to that piece of it. When we say service, there's a component inside of service that is two people learning how to receive the other person. It's learning how to take somebody as a part of yourself. And so I want to really, service sounds like it's this one way thing. But if you've got two people willing to serve, then you've got two people also willing to learn how to receive the person that's in front of them. And that's healing in itself. Like that's of I'm here to serve through, even through the act of receiving you for the who you are, not necessarily from what I expect or I think I need from you, but just to actually receive the totality of who you are as a person. Is a component of this retreat, and it's also a great gift. It's a great gift to be able to take somebody as a part of yourself and receive them fully in the essence of who they are, their shadows and their light. Their shadows and their light, to be able to be in service to the integration of both parts of that, and to know that in doing that, you're actually doing it for yourself, literally. Like, literally being able to be in service that way in a relationship is giving you the opportunity for that same level of integration.
Yeah.
Priceless.
Yeah. The sacred service element is really precious. It's rare, it's precious, it's divine. It really is at its core. It's a very divine principle and element. And yeah, it's a two-way street. It's a giving and a receiving. It's a serving and a receiving as well. And the boundaries and the lines get blurred, where it's like, you no longer know where your serving and my receiving end and yours begins, and it just becomes this beautiful merging of two souls that are connecting and relating at the level of the heart and the level of the soul.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful. Okay, so that sums up our topic of conversation when it comes to who are you as a couple when you arrive to the Relationship Breakthrough Couples Retreat, and who are you when you leave. Our next topic of conversation is in regards to why we have designed the retreat in such a way that it's a really deep immersion. Cheryl and I have very intentionally and purposely created the 7-day relationship breakthrough couples retreat so that it is a deep immersion. It's like a pressure cooker, if you will. And there's a reason why we're doing that, and why we've created the schedule and the duration and the activities that are involved, the teachings that are involved, the scheduling, and so on, in the way that we have. And that is because this idea of a deep immersion, this idea of like a pressure cooker, is not something new. You will find it a lot in the professional development, personal development, transformation world. For example, people like Tony Robbins, I know that he does these very deep immersions, these very intense, condensed kind of retreats where people are workshops, where people come and essentially, like, they get very little sleep, and they're going from, I don't know, 7 a.m. to like midnight, and it's go, go, go. And it's kind of like sleep deprivation. They are in like cold rooms, and they're just like, very intensely sort of drilling this stuff into a person's aura, into their subconscious mind, and so on. And it works. There is a reason why this type of approach is used in the professional and personal development world, and it works, and it definitely helps to create the transformation that people are seeking in a very short period of time. And it gives you that breakthrough break free type of effect. So we are using a similar type of a format or approach in the relationship breakthrough couples retreat. It is 7 days. And so, yeah, we have 7 days to crack you open as a couple, to crack you open as an individual, and to provide the fertile landscape, the possibility for the breakthrough that you and your partner are seeking. So you can expect a more intensive schedule. We're not going to be depriving you of sleep or nutrition or anything like that, but it is going to be, I know tantra massage first, the way that we teach it in those first couple of days, it can be a more intensive schedule, and you are giving and receiving tantra massage a couple of times during the day. So it is helping with the tenderizing process, shall we say. So Cheryl, do you want to say anything more to this kind of deep immersion and this sort of pressure cooker type of environment that we're going to be engaging in?
Sure. I think what I know from my experience in it is that we're taking you out of your normal routine. So we're removing you from distractions. I think Tiffany, you've decided we're gonna take their phone at some point, right? And the whole idea is to get you into a new sensory experience so that your brain has to start to figure out what does it need to do in order to be safe where we are. The whole idea is that the brain works in a way to keep itself safe. So it's always referring to something old. It's always looking to do something super familiar to keep itself safe. So we're going to take you and put you in an environment and keep you moving and out of your own distractions, and to start to have your brain decide, hey, I need to pay attention. I need to start to figure out what's needed from me right now in order to get familiar with what's expected. What is it that I'm trying to learn? What do I need to feel safe again? And then this is the arc of transformation in the subconscious mind. So we're going to continue in such a way that everything that we're bringing to you becomes really familiar to your brain. And then when you leave, it starts to try to bring this new information into a very familiar situation. And then this is where you have your choice point between being in the retreat and going home and staying in this new discipline, being in the energy of willingness. And your brain feels like, hey, I've got this. I've got tools. I have perspective. I have sensory feeling. And that's the brain part of why we do an immersion, because your brain and your subconscious mind is, Tiffany said 80, but it's somewhere between 80 and 95% responsible for how you're experiencing things. So this gives the brain an opportunity to be the first one to buy into my decision to grow, your decision to grow, and to be living a different life.
Yes. So as Cheryl mentioned, we did decide in this retreat actually that there'll be no electronics allowed. And the reason for that is not because we're sticklers about technology or electronics or anything. We have our own devices. We're obviously engaged in social media, so we see the benefit. We understand that it is a part of our modern life, and it's something that we work with in a very conscious way, but we work with it as well. However, in the case of this 7 day couples retreat, we know that in order for us to make the impact that we need to make in the 7 days, is couples need to be disassociated from kind of anything that is familiar, anything that is routine, anything that is a coping mechanism or a distraction that you have used previously to distract yourself or to ignore perhaps the problems, the issues, the struggles, the discomfort of your either yourself and or your relationship. So we don't want couples to, because you are going to be uncomfortable in this retreat. It is bound to happen, and not in a disharmonious or intense way that you can't manage, or you're going to have some crisis or something like that, but you are going to be uncomfortable. That's the whole point. That is the purpose of this retreat, is to get you out of your comfort zone. That's the only place, the only zone that transformation happens is if you're out of the comfort zone. So, yeah, we again want you to be present with the raw, tender truth of your relationship, with the raw, tender truth of who you are and how you are showing up to this dynamic. And we don't want you to go to turn towards things like social media, or Netflix or work calls or emails, whatever it is that you use as a coping mechanism or a strategy to not face the reality of your relationship or yourself. We need to remove those from the picture, from the situation, so that we have the possibility to access your subconscious mind. And then in that deprivation, we can call it, or disconnection from all of these coping mechanisms and strategies, you have the possibility to actually start to look into your own subconscious mind, to tap into your subconscious mind and to look what's going on behind there, to see what's happening in my operating system, that invisible operating system that's always running in the background. What is going on there? And you have the possibility to see it. If you are in your screen doing this, scrolling, you're not going to have access to that. And the transformation will be quite minimal. So, yeah, so that is the purpose behind this deep immersion. That's the purpose behind this deconnection of the social media and electronics. It's for the purposes of reconnection. We're going to disconnect you to reconnect you. Reconnect you to yourself, reconnect you to your partner, reconnect you to your heart, reconnect you to your subconscious mind, reconnect you to a higher power of your choosing, whether that's God, the divine, the soul, the spirit, whatever source. We're going to disconnect you to reconnect you. So, um, yeah, Cheryl, do you have anything else to add to that? Okay. All right. So that summarizes this topic of conversation: why the deep immersion, why the disconnection from our social media and other coping strategies. And then our last topic of conversation before we wrap up this podcast, I guess I would call it, is this idea that we have some special elements that we're including in this retreat. And we want to talk a little bit about those, because I do believe that these special elements that we are incorporating are what make this retreat truly profound and unique. Okay, so our final topic of conversation in regards to our 7-day relationship breakthrough couples retreat is in regards to these special elements that both Cheryl and I are going to be incorporating into the retreat experience for you, the couples. So she brings something very unique to the table that I wanted her to talk about a little bit on a more deeper level from her approach, from her background. And I'm also going to be incorporating some elements from the tantric perspective, from the tantric arena as well. So Cheryl is going to be doing something called spotlight coaching in this retreat experience. It's going to be towards the end of the retreat, and that's just because we want to get the couples, you, the couple, to a certain level of understanding, of vulnerability, of change, of transformation before we kind of bring this particular element into the mix. So Cheryl, tell us a little bit about this spotlight coaching.
Okay, so to build on what Tiffany already said, you'll have gone through a process of getting to know yourself. I'll have taken you through different tools and reflections and experiences so that you have come to have a greater understanding of yourself, but also that your dynamic and understanding of another person, your partner. The spotlight coaching is an opportunity for you as a couple to bring into conversation with me and others in the space with us that you've been traveling with for all this time, to really get in touch with something in your relationship dynamic that is ready to change. It's ready to, you're ready to have a crucial conversation. You're ready to confront an infidelity. You're ready to have something that you've been carrying in your dynamic for a long time that's ready to come out and to be experienced and to be handled. And so when we're able to do this, I said this earlier, when a couple is able to come into a space where the most difficult thing in their relationship that they've been carrying for so long and they don't have a resolution with, when it's up to have that happen and get fully integrated into the heart space of the individuals and of the coupleship, it's magic. It's a magical moment where the relationship nervous system itself makes this leap of expansion, right? All of a sudden, your containment of love, your containment of your relationship is now able to hold more. And it's the greatest thing that you can walk away with, your capacity to be able to come into that space. And so you've been able to come to this conversation throughout the week. And when it's time for you to sit and be witnessed in this space and actually hold each other, you'll be able to do what you can on your own authentically. And then I will step in and help each of you individually and together as a couple come to the completion of that conflict, whatever that's going to look like for you. And then the benefit of that is that your relationship nervous system comes into resolution and harmony, which opens you up for the capacity of experiencing that what was beyond the conflict, the growth of what's beyond the conflict. And then there's this unlimited ceiling of connection and intimacy that becomes available to you. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that this is probably the most magical part of Cheryl's work. It's really where the alchemy of what she teaches comes online and shines. It's basically, as throughout the week, Cheryl's going to be teaching you all these different relationship tools and communication mastery and all of these different things, and then like it all comes together in this spotlight coaching exercise, in my opinion. So, but Cheryl, tell them what that looks like practically. Like, are they getting like, is it 2-on-1 time where you take them in the back and there's like a private session, or how is it? How do you do it in the group environment?
We're going to do it in the group. Each couple will have an opportunity to be held by me, by a person that's assisting me, and then also the people that are going to actually be in the room. So everybody gets to learn from each other in that moment. You get supported from each other, but then there's also a group regulation, because normally when a retreat like this goes off, everybody that's supposed to be in that retreat is supposed to be in that retreat, and they're there to serve each other. So every couple is going to come holding a component of something else that the other couple has that they're carrying. So you will get to be witnessed by other people that you've built intimacy with. You've already built the intimacy, and now you're going to be able to be in the containment of being held by me, by your partner, and by the group. And so it's this really beautiful opportunity to learn from each other, heal with each other, regulate with each other. And you'll be surprised that a couple can have a healing by witnessing another couple heal. It's a beautiful thing to identify, spot something in another person or spot something in another coupleship. And I've seen this where two people look at each other like, oh my God, they're talking about this exact thing that we have. And they lean in, and then they start to become part of what's available. But it's for everybody. And so it'll be a group experience. It'll be a support experience. It'll be a healing opportunity. But mostly support, your opportunity to receive, your opportunity to be vulnerable, your opportunity to be transparent. And I have to say, it's like trusting the magic of it. It's the alchemy of coming into a contained space where there's so much intimacy happening. And there's also celebration. When we're in a group situation like that, there's the celebration of a completion of something, of having something that has been so challenging for so long come to resolution right there. Our courage to heal as an individual or as a couple is contagious. It's literally the gift that keeps on giving in the circle of connection. I can't emphasize that enough. Yeah, so did that answer, did I give you more depth to that?
Yeah, I got goosebumps, God bumps like 9 times in that whole explanation conversation, only because I have done coaching with you and I do know what it's like to like have that breakthrough moment and like that like the transmutation, that alchemy that's like where you take something that's been like such a pain point, such a deep point of suffering and pain in your system for perhaps months, maybe years, maybe decades, and then to like have that just alchemicalized and transmuted into something like beautiful, like a and create like open up to more intimacy and connection with your partner is just like it's pure bliss, honestly. It really is. Yeah.
I
And
mean, each person wants connection. The
yeah.
reason why we have is that there's a disconnect and there's a desire. At the end of the day, everybody wants to belong, to be understood, and to be seen and heard. So when you come as a couple, you may not be dialed into that fully, and you can feel that disconnect. It's a definite disconnect. But when you're in a room and you're a woman who's been desiring your male partner to be present, not only with his own emotions but with yours, and when that actually happens, when you actually get to feel the transparency of your male partner's, he's emotionally transparent and available to you, or he's able to receive your emotions and you're able to actually deliver it in such a way that it can be received, where you are actually being received. And you haven't figured out up to this moment how to get your partner to hear you or to give you what you wanted. And you've been believing all this time that I've been telling, I've been saying, I've been whatever. Those moments are so magical because what we really want is to be seen, to be understood, to belong, to feel like no matter what's happening with us, we won't be rejected. We won't be shamed. We, and then you have that event. You have that moment where, and the beauty of having me available is to, if you can't receive something, to help you learn how to receive in that moment. If you're unable to communicate for yourself, to help you find your way to communicate for yourself. It's a, I can't explain it. It's like, you can't really say what milk tastes like, but for every person, there is a quality of something happening. It's the same for a couple. It's different for every couple, and that couple will know what the sweet spot is. But it will be so palpable that everybody in the experience will feel it. It's a heart event.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It is a collective event in this particular scenario because it's well in tantra massage too because we are sharing energy and energetic field, right? So it's never just an individual experience. It's like a group experience and the group energy enhances the individual energy and so on. So it just can't be separated. And I like to think of this like spotlight coaching in this group environment. It's going to be a small group environment because we're only going to have 6 couples. But this like small group environment, it's like a womb, like you're, like it's just like such a sacred container and space where you're being held as a couple in your most vulnerable, in your most vulnerable point, right? And you're talking about a pain point, like you're actually talking about a conflict that's existed in your relationship, which is not always easy. And everybody's holding you and everybody is cheering for you and everybody is like yeah, like wishing for the highest and greatest outcome for your relationship. And Cheryl is there like holding you tenderly like a mother. She's just walking you through the process and making sure that you guys as a couple come to full resolution on your biggest pain point in your relationship, and you get to go to the point of resolution, so conflict resolved. So it really is just a juicy, amazing gift. It's very precious. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So then the second element that I just wanted to mention is more of a tantric element, and that's it. That in this retreat we're going to be incorporating, bringing into the teachings some rituals, some tantric rituals specifically. So in tantra, this idea of rituals is something that is very much ingrained into the culture, the methodology, the teaching, the belief system of tantra. Um, I mean, Tantra believes that life is a living, breathing ritual. And so it uses these rituals to really bring the physical to the metaphysical. It really gives people, even if you don't believe in magic or the supernatural or the paranormal, or that there's anything beyond this physical reality, if you only believe in like this meat suit and you only believe in the physical reality and there's nothing beyond that, even people like that will get a glimpse into the metaphysical, will get a glimpse into the non-physical, into this other realm of existence through ritual. So they're very magical, they're very mystical. And yeah, there's going to be, I'm just counting, two rituals that we're going to be incorporating into this retreat. There's going to be one at the very start, so our first day, and there's going to be one at the very end, so the last day. And the first ritual is what we call a purification ritual. And that really is to sort of not only purify the space that we're going to be containing this journey, this retreat experience in, but also we're going to purify us as individuals as well. We're going to purify our aura. We're basically going to get very humble. We're going to have humility, and we're going to ask a greater power than ourselves to please, like, to purify my mind, body, and spirit, and make me open to change, or help to crack me open so that I can create transformation and change in my life and in my partnership. So it's a ritual for really kind of purifying, and also for setting the intentions of what you want to happen, what you would hope to, what you hope the final result will be of this 7-day journey together. So that will be the starting ritual. And then the final ritual is going to be something called transfiguration ritual. And that is really where, I mean, it's so hard to explain. I've experienced the transfiguration ritual myself so many times. Every time it's a bit different, but it's really giving you the opportunity for you and your beloved, your partner, to see your divine nature. It's like through this ritual, like the physical elements of who you are, your personality, your body, your whatever, the looks, the clothes, the everything, your mannerisms, all of these things like literally just disappear into the ether. It's like this man or woman becomes like the god and the goddess in your eyes. They're no longer Mary Jo, who's my partner for 30 years. She's got 3 kids. She's whatever, is an accountant and blah blah blah. Like none of that matters or comes to mind anymore. It's like all of that fades away, and you just literally see that the woman in front of you is a goddess, is an image of the divine, is a creation of the divine, and you get to experience each other on this very high metaphysical, very spiritual, very elevated level through this ritual. So those are the elements, special elements, I would like to call them, that are going to be part of the Relationship Breakthrough Couples Retreat. Anything that you want to add or say more to that, Cheryl?
That last ritual sounds yummy. I covered it. I'm sure there's going to be more along the way, but I think we've given them a good idea. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah, it's a glimpse. It's a tiny little speck into the transfiguration ritual, but again, that alone, transfiguration, the idea of transfiguration, the idea of this ritual, could take 2 hours to lecture on, but we won't do that to you today. So that concludes our very detailed chat and explanation about the Relationship Breakthrough Couples Retreat. Of course, we have a course description page. You can go to that page and you can read all about the retreat. It has all the details specifically for the retreat that we're offering, because we offer this retreat a few times throughout the year, and it may be throughout the year, and it may be that we do the retreat in a different destination or a different venue and so on, and the details may change. So I encourage you to go to the link in the description of this video and to go ahead and go to that web page, that course description page, and it will tell you everything that you need to know about our most recent or our most upcoming relationship breakthrough couples retreat. As I mentioned, the course description page will tell you everything you need to know in terms of what you will learn and gain, what's included in terms of accommodation or meals, the duration of the retreat, what the accommodations will look like, what the general schedule is going to be like, what activities are included, for example, like the rituals, the spotlight coaching, morning tantra yoga and meditation practices, somatic practices, and so on. So that course description page is really your best resource to learn more about this retreat. And if you are interested in joining, please just hit that apply button. There'll be a short online application form that you can fill out. And when we receive that, Cheryl and I will reach out to you and we will we'll schedule a chat, an actual live Zoom chat where you as the couple and Cheryl and I will both be present. We can have a conversation and we can discuss your coupleship, what you are interested in gaining in this retreat, and we can just ensure that this is going to be a good fit for you and for taking you to the next level. So that is all that we wanted to share today. I encourage you to join us. It's going to be epic. It's going to be legendary. And yeah, it's going to be extraordinary. I absolutely cannot wait to partner with Cheryl in this way. I can't wait to meet our 6 lucky couples that get to go on this journey with us and together as a group. As Cheryl said, there are no coincidences or happenstances, so to speak, like the 6 couples that are going to be joining us. It's going to be a divine intervention. Like it is going to be serendipitous, right? That we're all together. And it's going to be meaningful, and everybody that's going to be there is going to be contributing something very special and unique to the container of the retreat and to each of the couples. And of course, to Cheryl and I will be receiving as well from our couples. So yeah, so we just can't wait. We're so excited. If our passion for what we do in this retreat is not palpable, we'll work harder next time, because I can tell you from my side, I'm just so over the moon excited, and I can't wait for this experience. So Cheryl, do you have any final words before we close out this chat?
No, I think you're right. This is going to be an extraordinary opportunity, and it's in divine order. And I'm excited to co-create this with you and to also co-create with those 6 couples that are going to be meeting us in our next adventure. Yay.
So thank you so much for joining. If you made it to the end, I commend you. I applaud you. Thank you for joining us. It perhaps was a bit lengthy, but very thorough. I hope it gave you a really good glimpse into what you can expect, and allowed you to feel and not just like read a bunch of words about the retreat, but actually get a sense and a feeling for what this retreat is going to be all about. And of course, get a feeling into who Cheryl and I are as facilitators and what we bring to the table. And yeah, just our purity of love and excitement for this retreat. So we love you. We thank you for being here. And we can't wait to meet you in our next relationship breakthrough couples retreat. So
It is. Thank
and
you.
so it is. Take care.
Bye.